Okay, Ryan. So I've had an amazing time talking to you and learning about your family and your childhood and your history as an engineer, your passion for bicycles. We learned that you're a little social activist. Is there anything else that you would like our audience to know about you as a professional dad, father, son, bicycle enthusiast?
Well, I mean, yeah, all this I feel like comes back to identity, and a lot of what you do becomes your identity. And I think you kind of have to flip that on its head once in a while because that's not your true identity. It's not what you do. It's who you are, as an individual at the core. And for me, that's from my faith for sure. And don't really feel like going back to childhood. Don't feel like I had a huge faith foundation as a kid, but it was being put together slowly over time and making my own decisions, finding my own path versus what was presented for me. That was kind of finding my faith as a Christian and as a man. So I guess identity is the one thing that really comes to mind when trying to redefine myself and decide what I'm going to do versus the other way around. Because I've done a lot of things. I think about my career. I've done a lot of different things. I've worked in automotive for a short period of time. I worked in consumer appliances, refrigeration, and industrial motors as well as lighting. So I've done a lot of industrial products, worked with corporate customers, and really have enjoyed working in that. But I think my focus has really been to sell to my neighbors. Really, I want to work with my neighbors. I want to provide a product to my community. I want to provide a service to my community. But yeah, I mean, identity, I guess, I find through God and Jesus, and through prayer, through studying the Bible, through being in community with people who are of the same thought process, and really just digging deeper into who I am at the core is really important, because then it helps me make better decisions.
So, as a young boy, was there a lot of spiritual influence in your life?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, spend every every Sunday at church, at least hearing the Word of God. Not as much being a wholesome experience. My parents were not very religious, I guess you'd say, and we didn't really pray together. I think that was a big thing that I didn't have as a kid, but it was always there. It was always in front of me, always within arm's reach. God, once you look back at your life, once you find your faith, you realize God's always there within arm's reach, and He was always there watching over me and making sure that I didn't get into too much trouble. And if I did, I think I was redeemed enough times and given a second, third, fourth chance at becoming a better person. And God sends the people that you need, and He sends the love that you need to help find that right path.
When would you say that you felt that you were walking on that you called right path?
Yeah, so I had a pretty major experience, and even after that major experience, struggled with finding the right path. But 2014, my first year at my first employer, I did a lot of commuting to a different part of the state, actually another state, with a fellow employee, and really got into talking about faith and listening to music together and being in our little community, wherever you are with 2 or more people, it's a community, and that was really important. He and I had differing views on the world and on faith, but that really drove me to feel more engaged in that and study the Bible and pray more and be more involved in church and things like that, and joining Bible study and almost leading a Bible study. It's the very strangest thing. Like the first Bible study I ever did, I felt like me and 1 or 2 other people were the ones leading it, because I lost that fear. When God really found me, I lost that fear of opening up. It was not a thing anymore. As a child, very closed off emotionally, and didn't know how to manage my emotions very well. And life wasn't that hard, but when it did get hard, when it does get hard, you have to be prepared for that. I don't think I kind of found that 2014. And 2015 I was baptized at Grace Midtown right before I got married to my lovely bride. And that was scary and transformative, and still faltered a few times along the road, but I think I got better and stronger from there on out, for sure.
What does a life on the right path look like for you? What does it feel like for you?
Yeah, I guess in an ideal world it would be, and of course someday I feel like we'll get there, but not living in fear, or not being feeling complete no matter what what the circumstances are, feeling like I can make decisions in the difficult times. I think that's really important, and that's how constant prayer, and I feel like I don't pray enough, but that's something that I think is super important.
As a father, what is the most important lesson that you've learned that you want to share with your children?
I think I said this recently. I think the most important thing is just to, one, pursue love. Like, no matter what you do, always act in love. But in terms of your path, like, just find out what you enjoy doing and share it with the world, and do it for you, but always know that God really cares about you, and He wants to see you thrive, and wants you to enjoy life, not just get by and be a part of the world. He wants you to be part of something bigger, really.
Well, Ryan, you've given us some pretty amazing food for thought. Thank you so much for sharing this part of your journey, and for allowing us to see a little bit inside of what makes a professional dad in 2020.
Of course. Thank you for joining me on this journey.
Well, if you don't have anything else you would like to add, I just want to say thank you. I will make you some coffee, and maybe we can do this again sometime.
Sounds good. Enjoyed it.